Hey bud, just a mongrel. Today we're doing a deck profile and primer on Hero. Now I have made one or two of these before, being on the Evil Hero build and then the updated Neos build. This is going to be going over the Neos build, but I think last time I was playing Super Poly and a couple cards that I just wasn't completely fond of. I was still testing around with them. So that was the Super Poly build I did last time. This will be the pure Neos build, which is, in my opinion, the most optimal, of course. Starting off with the deck profile, of course. We're also going to be talking about why you play certain cards, what they do, what you could also play instead. So starting off, 3 copies of Stratos. Stratos is a very good card. When it's normaled or special, which is also none of once per turn, by the way, which is cool. You can search for any hero from your deck, including itself, or destroy spells and traps on the field up to the number of different heroes you control. You're never really going to be using that secondary effect. It's that primary effect. Reason why I play 3 is because this thing gets you to Ferris, which is a very important piece of the combo. Gets you to your poly, gets you a dump, gets 2 free bodies, gets you a discard. It's just really good, but it's very hard to search. There's not a lot of cards in this deck that search Ferris. So I play 3 Stratos. Some people play 2. I like to play 3 to be as optimal as possible. But if you do want to trim a couple cards or whatever for different stuff in here, Stratos could be one of the ones to trim. It's also wind as well, which is really helpful for stuff like Sunrise and the new Flame Wingman thing. Next up, I play the 1 copy of Shadow Mist. I've seen people play 2 to 1 copy of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is a super good card. If it's specialed, you can search Mass Change from the deck. Also, with the card sent to the grave, you can search any hero except itself. But you can only use each effect once per duel, but you can't use both during the same turn. So you special this thing, search Mass Change, set Mass Change, and then during the opponent's turn, flip Mass Change, tribute Shadow Mist, summon Darklaw, and then get a search off of Shadow Mist. Is pretty much what you're supposed to be doing, and pretty much what you can do. The only reason why I'm playing 1 is because it is part of mainline combo, because you can special this from your hand or deck off of Wake Up if it's popped, which is really good. I have been flip-flopping about between 1 and 2. Currently, I'm just messing with the 1. I've been messing with the 1 for a while. But if you want to play 2, it's perfectly fine. I think 2 is probably better because that secondary effect, if you have a bad hand, if you draw Fusion Destiny, you can Fusion Destiny to make Dangerous, and use Shadow Mist and Malicious or whatever to make Dangerous, get a search, and put Malicious and Grave. So if you want to play 2, 2 is perfectly fine. I would actually recommend 2. I think 2 is fine. 1 copy of Liquid Soldier. Liquid Soldier is pretty interesting. It's a water, so you can make Absolute Zero. I'm not running Absolute Zero. I just don't think it's really that good. It's good. It's just not all that useful. There are better things you can make with a water type, I believe. Pretty much, if this thing is normaled, you can target a level 4 or lower hero in Grave, except itself, and special it. Also, if it's sent to the grave or banished for a fusion summon, you can draw 2 and discard 1, but you can't do both during the same turn. And it's only a once per turn. So yeah, we're never going to be using that first effect, really. Like, out of probably the hundreds of games I've play tested and played and such, I've only ever normal summoned this thing twice for like really specific reasons. But you're mostly going to either be uh, discarding this thing from your hand off of Ferris if you have nothing else really. Um, Either using it in your hand to make Infernal Rage, I guess. Banishing it to make Wake Up, I guess, maybe. And of course, the one copy of Hero Neos, the Manila. This guy is searchable off a mainline combo from Infernal Rage. We use him to make Flame Wingman Infernal Rage, which searches us the trap card. This guy also lets us make Sunrise, and as well as Shining Neos Wingman. You can draw this in your opening hand, it's fine. You just skip that part of the combo to make Infernal Device or whatever it's called, which is fine. Next up, this part I believe is mandatory. 3 Ferris, 2 Increase, and 2 Vion. Talking about Ferris real quick. Ferris, 3 of. You can special it from your hand by discarding another hero you control, or in your hand. When it's specialed, you can put a Vision Hero from deck into the Spell and Trap zone. It's treated as a trap card. We're going to add Increase. Increase we play 2 of. It's very important that we play 2 Increase as I move the camera. Increase is a brick, a very bad brick, which is why we play 2. Out of the hundreds of games I play tested and played, I have probably drawn double Increase less than 10 times, which is... You're very rarely going to draw both, to be honest here. What the actual effect is that if it's in the Spell or Trap zone, you can tribute a hero you control, special it, and then special a Vision Hero from deck. Obviously, we're going to be specialing Vion. Vion's normal or special. You can dump any hero from deck to grave. You can also banish a hero from grave to search Poly. So this is your mainline way to search for Poly. Really useful. I have seen people play 2 copies, actually, of or 3 copies of Vion. I think 2 is fine. For the Destiny Hero lineup, we play Denier and 2 Mally. So Mally, obviously, if I could play 3, I would play 3. It's really good. But Denier's pretty spicy, if I'm going to be honest. So if we control a Destiny Hero on the field or grave, and Denier's in the grave as well, you can special Denier. When Denier's normal or special, you can stack a Destiny Hero from your banished, grave, or deck to the top of the deck. We're always going to be recycling a Banished Malicious to get an extra body out as well. Just really good, just gives you free bodies. It's a crazy card. Next up, we play the 1 Dark Angel. Dark Angel's a really good card, but against like a couple particular cards, it's just not good. So Dark Angel, if you have 3 or more Destinies in grave, you can discard it and then special one of them to your opponent's field. Obviously, we're going to be picking Dark Angel here. When Dark Angel is face up on the field, the player who controls it, their spell cards are negated. It's not a once per turn thing. It's as long as it's face up on their field. This is a floodgate effect. I've had a surprising amount of players not read Dark Angel for some reason, and then go, "Why can't I activate spell cards or whatever?" And it's like you can; they're just negated. A lot of casual players don't really understand that. If you're going against somebody who actually knows this matchup, they know to use this as material to make a Link Kuriboh. And if you know they do that in Game 1, or if they do that in Game 1, Games 2 and 3 obviously side out Dark Angel. It's not going to be good. Next up, the 1 of Plasma. This is a really interesting card, because I almost never go into this. I think I went into this card twice the entire time I played this deck. It's just plasma. It's good. I just never really go into it a whole lot. For hand traps, I play 3 Ash and 3 Imperm. I feel like you could swap these for different stuff, whatever you want. I just really like the Ash in Imperm. I think it's a really solid thing. Going into these spells and traps, we play 3 copies of Hero Lives. This is a really good card. Just being able to pay half your life to special any hero from deck, any elemental. So you can use specialing Shredos, obviously, to get that search, or even a Shadow Mist. This card kind of sucks in time, though, which is also why we played Dystopia, to burn to try and equalize that playing ground. So if you're getting very low on time for like game 3 or whatever, I have sided this out before and been fine. 2 copies of E-Call. Again, these 5 have a very slim pool, only for heroes. We're pretty much only searching Stratos with this just because how important it is to get the Ferris. But two E-Call's fine. You can cut it down to 1 maybe. I think 2 is optimal. The 1 Rhoda. This is a warrior deck. Rhoda's good. Foolish. Another just random 1-of that's good. It sends a card to deck to grave. Malicious, Denier, stuff like that. Called by Joel Lockbird fucking kills this deck. Call by is just one of those things that, sometimes it helps. The 1 of Poly, this is searchable off of Vion. The Miracle Fusion, this is of course searchable off of Sunrise, and we use it to make Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. 2 copies of Mass Change. Mass Change is a very strong card. Obviously, this is searchable off of your Shadow Mist. But if your opponent happens to Imperm or Valor your Stratos, if you have one of these bad boys in hand, you can tag it out for a Mass Hero Blasts and still get to search. This is also searchable off of mainline combo with Wake Up. We of course play the 3 Fusion Destiny. This card's non-searchable. This card is really interesting. Obviously, this is great for those dog water hands where you don't have anything really of value in your hand. But if you happen to draw into Fusion Destiny, you can make a Malicious by pitching from deck, make a Dangerous by pitching Malicious and Shadow Mist. So Shadow Mist gets you that search for Ferris. Also giving you Malicious Engrave and a whatever else. You can also use this to make DPE or whatever if you're low on material, and since it just goes from deck. It does lock you into only specialing darks for the rest of the turn, but that does mean that you can normal non-darks while under this restriction. And then finally, for the 1 trap, Favorite Contact. Favorite Contact is searchable off of Infernal Rage. Searchable with Infernal Rage. So this thing is a pretty busted card, to be honest. It's pretty nice. So pretty much, you special summon a fusion monster from extra deck as it mentions a hero, ignoring summoning conditions, by recycling the fusion materials to the bottom of the deck in any order, from your hand, field, grave, or banished. And if you placed a Neos into your deck, neither player can bounce that monster you summoned to the extra deck / hand. So things like Unicorn, which is a very common out to big beefy men, just doesn't work on this, which is really cool. This card is pretty bonkers. A lot of players don't really read that secondary effect with that unicorn protection. So, pretty cool. For the extra deck, I am playing Elemental Hero Flame Wingman of Infernal Rage. So this card takes two different elementals with different attributes, and when it's special summoned, you can search for a favorite card from your deck or grade to the hand. So this works with other cards, not just favorite contacts, but there really aren't too many favorite cards that are worth it, really. There's favorite contact, which is worth it. There is a favorite hero, I think, which really isn't worth it. It's not a good card. It's just an attack buff boost, which really isn't that great. And there's also a new one coming out. It's like a Karibo thing. It's also counted as a favorite. That one's okay. It's not really great. Just stick with your favorite contact. But this card also, if you used a level 7 or lower elemental normal monster, I'm reading too far ahead. If you use Vanilla Neos, you can special a level 7 or lower elemental hero from deck or extra deck. That cannot be normal summoned or set ignoring summoning conditions. So pretty much what this means is that on summon, you can search favorite contact from grave or deck. And then if you use Neos to summon this thing, you can tribute it and special summon Sunrise from your extra deck, cheating it out. So Sunrise is requires two monsters with different attributes, or two heroes with different attributes. It gains 200 attack for each different attribute you control. Also, if it's special summoned, you can search a Miracle Fusion from deck to hand. And when an attack is declared involving another hero you control, you target a card in the field and destroy it. Both of these are really useful for their own different rights. Both of them do get you to really strong fusion spells, though. Next up, we play Wake Up Elemental Hero. This is your Miracle Fusion target, of course. This takes a Elemental Hero Fusion monster and 1+ warrior. Gains 30 attack for each monster used for its summon. You can make attacks up to the number of this card can make a number of attacks on monsters each battle phase, up to the number of fusion materials used for it. After damage calc, this card battle the monster, destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to the opponent equal to an original attack. If the fusion card is destroyed, special a warrior from hand or deck. Does not specify that your opponent has to destroy this thing, so if you make DPE, pop DPE, and then pop your Wake Up, you can, get a little cheeky, little Dark Law on their field. For the big bad boss of this deck, we play Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman. This takes Neos and a Wingman Fusion. Gains 3 attack for each monster in the grave, also cannot be destroyed by card effects. Card special summon, you can destroy cards your opponent controls up to a number of different attributes among the monsters on the field. And also, this thing, if it destroys a monster by a battle, inflict damage to the opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So the attribute popping thing is really useful, because you're at least going to have a light in the field. You're also probably going to have a couple darks in the field as well. And whatever the opponent has, for example, if they're playing a fire deck, that would give you 3 pops, which is pretty nice. This one's a bit of a weird pick. Elemental Hero The Shining, specifically because this takes a Elemental Hero monster and a light monster, meaning that you can use a Nibiru token that was just dropped on you to make this. This has come in handy a very slim couple of times in weird games. This card hasn't particularly won me a game. It just made use of a Nibiru token, which otherwise would have done nothing, really. You don't have to run this. This is just a weird tech card I'd play. DPE, is a very, very strong card. This takes a level 6 or higher hero, a Destiny hero. Monsters the opponent controls lose 200 for each hero card in your grave. Quick effects. You can store both one card you control and one card in the opponent's field. If this card store a battle or card effect, you can activate the effect to special it. Actually special summon any Destiny hero from your grave during the next standby phase. So it can recycle itself, get a quick effect, pop on your cards or pop the opponent's. Potentially gets either itself or plasma on your field if you happen to have plasma in grave. A really busted card. This thing is a magnet for Called by the Grave, though. So next we'll play Dangerous. Dangerous only exists in this deck because it takes a Destiny hero monster and a dark effect, which is just for your Shadow Mist. Next up, Dystopia. Dystopia takes 2 Destiny hero monsters. Dystopia is here specifically because on summon you can burn the opponents for 11. Simply because Denier is at 11 attack. That's really all it's here for. We play Master Darklaw. Darklaw is a very busted card. I only play the one. You can play 2 if you want. It reads, any card sent to the opponent's grave is banished instead. Once per turn, if your opponent adds a card from deck to hand, except during the draw phase or damage step, banish a random card in their hand. Crazy card. We also play Blast. This is specifically for your Stratos or whatever. I don't really use the other effect of it. It's just a blast thing. Extra Hero Infernal Devicer. So this thing takes 2 heroes. It's a Fiend, by the way, which is really weird. If the card's link summoned, reveal a hero fusion in your extra deck. And if you do, add up to 2 of the fusion materials specifically listed on it. So the only one that's really on here that we're going to be able to search is the Vanilla Neos. This is the first extra hero you go into. Secondly, Wonder Driver. This just takes 2 hero monsters. This is a warrior. If a monster is special to or summoned to a zone it points to, which is the up and down, you can reset a fusion or polymerization from your grave face down. And next up, extra hero Cross Crusader. This takes 2 warriors. When it's linked, target Destiny hero in your grave special. You contribute to Destiny. Search any hero with a different name from your deck. So this is very important that you go Infernal Devicer, Wonder Driver into Cross Crusader, because Infernal Devicer is a fiend for some reason, which means that Cross Crusader takes warriors for some weird reason. So if you happen to go into Infernal Devicer second after Wonder Driver, rather than before, you will not be able to make a Cross Crusader with it. And we also play, I almost forgot, the one of Dread Decimator. This thing really only exists to turn on Dystopia and also just allow for OTK or whatever. It's a solid card. That's all I really have to say about it. I don't go into it too often, but it does allow piercing. For the side deck, I always say the side deck is a very particular about the side deck. I know my side decks aren't the best, but they're what I think are good for my personal playstyle. 3 Nibiru. I play the 1 Droll because this also goes with Cross-Eyed Designator. There are 3 cards that fucking murder this deck, being Nibiru, Droll, and Dimension Shifter. Those are the 3 most common hand traps that this deck struggles desperately against. And Cross-Eyed Designator allows for just to level that playing field. If you would like a budget variant of this, I highly recommend Salesbound. It pretty much reads the exact same as Cross-Eyed Designator, except you don't have to play your Droll or whatever you want to Cross-Eyed does. However, it's not a quick play, though, so you have to call it at the start of your turn, even if you think your opponent doesn't have that draw. So you can call it thinking they might have it. They might not even have that draw. They might have like a shifter or something. Which is why I just play Cross It Does. It is a bit more pricey, being 30 a playset, probably a couple more bucks actually than 30, probably like 35 now. But you know, it's a really good side deck option, I feel. Dark Ruler. You can never go wrong with this card. This is just like the best, one of the best side deck choices, in my opinion. Double Lightning Storm. Very good card. I don't think I need to explain myself. And finally, Triple Evenly Matched. I am the biggest lover of Evenly. It is a very cool card. It does kick you at that battle phase, though. And here is all about that attacking. But the fact that you can set up a bunch of floodgates and all that kind of stalls for next battle phase, which is fair enough. Alright, we're also going to be doing a little test hand here. Pretty much just shuffling, drawing 5, seeing where that takes us. Obviously, we're going to assume that we're going first, uninterrupted for the sake of the video. Getting a probably bad hand, because of course I always get bad hands for videos. Also, custom sleeves, courtesy of Dragon Shield. I made these myself. If you'd like to get these yourself, I actually have the design I made myself. I will be happy to send it to you. Just ask about it in the comments, and I'll find the way. See? Drawing 5, and we're going to see where this takes us. Interesting. Not the worst hand. I'm going to start by normal summoning a copy of Stratos here. Stratos is going to search for a Ferris. Let's discard Plasma. Special itself, and then put Increase as a trip. You're going to activate Increase. Tribute Ferris, special itself, special Vion from deck. Final summon, we'll send a Malicious. Then we're also going to banish a Ferris for a Poly, wherever that is. There it is. Now, we actually already drew our Neos, so we don't need to go into Infernal Devicer. Yeah, this just makes it slightly easier on the combo. So instead, we're going to make a Infernal Devicer, or not Infernal Devicer, a Wonder Driver here, since we already drew our Neos. Linking these two away for your Wonder Driver. We're then going to activate a copy of Polymerization, fusing that Stratos on the field and the Neos in hand, making a Infernal Rage. We're going to add search for that favorite contact. And then we're also going to reset that Polymerization. After that, we're going to tag out of Infernal Rage, go into Sunrise here. After that, I'm going to search for Miracle Fusion off of Sunrise. And after that, I'm going to banish a Mally here to special a copy of itself from deck. And then we are going to go for a Link Summon for a Cross Crusader, fusing Malicious and Wonder Driver for Cross Crusader. One summon, that specials back our Malicious. We're going to tribute the Malicious to search for a copy of There's actually a couple different things that we could search here. Because ideally we do want to make that, whatever the fuck it's called, that DPE. So I think probably the best course here is to search for that denier. Then, after that, I think we will go into a Miracle Fusion here. We're going to banish Infernal Devicer and Neos, or not Infernal Devicer, Infernal Rage, for a Wake Up. After that, we are going to... We're in a very interesting predicament here because trying to think how we can get to DPE without going too much into debt here. Which I really don't think we can get to DPE with this, unfortunately, with what we've been given. It is a little weird to draw Neos. Just kind of makes the combo a little funky sometimes, which is fine. It is kind of weird to do. I think maybe make Dangerous? Go into Dread Deaths. Summon back to Nair and Mali. Unfortunately, I think I have to do that. I don't really think there's a way to do anything, but I want to. We're going to fuse Nair and Vion here for our Dangerous. And then we will... Actually, there's not a whole lot we can do here. That's kind of sucky. We're gonna... Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna link summon for a Dread Decimator. That's pretty much it. Set 2 pass. So yeah, not really the best. We kind of drew a little weird. But we can shuffle again and see what we get out of it. Alright, give it a little shuffle. Hopefully we draw something better than Plasma. Hopefully we draw like Nair or Malicious. Drawing 5 here. Much better. Definitely much better. When you start with a copy of Hero Lives, we're going to special error copy of... Wow, all these Ferris are just lumped together. What the fuck? With a Stratos. Stratos on summon. Searches us for a copy of Ferris. Ferris effect, discard Mali. Ferris effects to put. Increase should be Ferris. Special itself, special Vion on summon, dumps our Denier, not Hero Lives. Vion banish Ferris. Search for Poly. Not next up, we're going to go into a friendly visor. Look that for that bad boy. We're also going to reveal Shini's Wingman to the opponents. They can read it and go, wow, that's pretty whack. And then search for our Neos from deck. After that, we're going to put a polymerization here. Neos and Stratos for Rage. Rage on summon searches for that favorite contact. Then we melee here. Special itself. Make Wonder Driver. Tag out in front of Rage into Sunrise. Search for Miracle. Reset that poly. After that, we're going to Miracle Fusion. Burn in front of Rage, Neos for a Wake Up. After that, we're going to... actually, since we have not normal summoned, we're going to normal summon from our hand a copy of Vion. We cannot do any of the effects because we already used effects this turn. So instead, we're going to go for a Cross Crusader Link summon here. Once I'm going to special back that Malicious. Tribute that Malicious to search for our favorite little Dark Angel Bud. Little Dark Twink. Anyway, I lost all fucking train of thought after I just said that. All the neurons have been sucked from my brain from the twink. I'm like struggling to think now. I'm going to activate Denier, special itself. Going to recycle that Malicious, banish that Malicious from grave, special back that recycled Malicious. Flip over Poly, fuse these two for a very nice copy of DPE. Then we shall pop DPE and then pop. Actually, we're going to. Yeah, we're going to pop DPE, then pop our Wake Up. Don't forget to declare your DPE effect to revive next turn. We're also going to be specialing that Shadow Mist from deck off of Wake Up. Shadow Mist on summon searches Mass Change. Because we have 3 Destiny Heroes in grave, we're going to discard a Dark Angel specialty opponent's side of the field. And then we're going to set 3 and pass turn. During the opponent's draw phase, we're going to flip over Mass Change. So this is a very weird situation here because there are 2 ways to get rid of Dark Angel. Either by using it to summon something else, like a Link Kuriboh, for example, or by attacking, just ramming it into any of our attack position monsters. If your opponent knows this, you have to get rid of your Link, unfortunately. They do not know this, however. You can just use your Shadow Mist. For the sake that we think the opponent knows what they're doing, we're going to be getting rid of this Cross Crusader for a Dark Law. Obviously in defense. And then during the standby phase, we will special back that DPE. So we ended on some very good shit. I'm not going to count the Imperm, just because it's a random draw that we just happen to get every single time, apparently. But for actual, what we did draw, we ended on a Banish and a Hand Rip a search if they happen to do anything with it. The search really doesn't matter, to be honest, too much. A Omni Spell Negates. Pretty much if they attack any of our heroes, they just get banished. It also gives us a passive attack boost. DPE, just a passive or a non-passive debuff for their monsters, along with a quick effect pop of one of our cards and pop one of theirs, also revive itself. And also a non-bounceable multi-targeting buff boy in the form of Shining Neos Wingman. And then we're not going to really count it, but Imperm and Fusion Destiny, we could make a, whatever the fuck you call it, like a Dangerous or something. I personally just didn't do that for this specific one because I feel like it really wasn't needed. Anyway, yeah, that's ending on some pretty good stuff. This is pretty much the usual what you end on. It's fairly good. So yeah, this has been the deck profile and primer. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I love making these videos. If you couldn't tell, I love Hero. If you sat through to the very end, thank you for watching. It means a whole lot, especially the amount of time and effort it takes to playtest all of these games to get good at these decks. It takes a very long time, a lot of commitment. And I know that YouTube doesn't really like these long format videos. They like the short stuff. So it is nice to have people watch the long stuff. I quite like making the long stuff. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the deck profile and such, and the primer video. Let me know what like hidden techs or whatever that you guys have discovered. I love to hear it. I'm always experimenting with this deck. Who knows, maybe you discovered the new goo for this deck. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Yeet.